Shana Tova. If I say the word birthdays, what comes up for you? What memories, images, or feelings do you connect with that day in your life? I must admit that ever since I was a child, I never really enjoyed my birthdays. I would always feel sad on that day. I would feel a bit lonely and desire attention and feel excitement. And I would feel like I am not sensing neither attention nor excitement. Rather than the gifts, I wanted that human, loving and caring element. Someone who would think of me in advance, someone who would organize a festive day just for me, without me knowing about it. Someone who would surprise me. Until recently, I didn't know there was a term for not enjoying your birthday. The term is birthday blues. It can be also called a birthday depression, and it refers to feelings of sadness, apathy, or disinterest in celebrating or thinking about your birthday. It can have various causes: anxiety connected to aging, traumatic childhood experiences connected to birthdays, and for some people, just being afraid of falling behind with your life. Feelings of failing to adhere to the big, great life plans we sketched for ourselves in our imagination. Today, on Rosh Hashanah, it is the birthday of the world. One of the traditional Rosh Hashanah prayers says in Hebrew, Hayom Harat Olam. Today is the day the world was created. Today, we celebrate the birthday of the world. Looking at the state of the worldly affairs, I suspect the world must be experiencing a big birthday blues today. The world is in bad shape. And safe to say, we humans are part of the problem, and we should care more than we currently do. Humans cause wars and care more about their own profit than about the poor and those in need. Humans care more about comfort and convenience than about nature, the oceans, forests, and wildlife. Humans care more about politics than about the value of an individual life. Despite all our humans' shortcomings, we meet here tonight, in this synagogue, this sanctuary, on Rosh Hashanah, to celebrate the birthday of the world. Tonight, we are standing and praying next to each other, and we are possibly looking for something more, something out of the ordinary. While I'm standing here tonight, I'm thinking that many of us probably want to hope for a better future for the world, and a better future for each of us. Birthdays have that special characteristic of happening every year at the same time, and they can invite us to reflect and evaluate. Birthdays can also serve as a deadline and as an invitation to try and begin things anew. We need these liminal moments in our lives, moments that are like stepping over a threshold, when we are moving forward while leaving things behind and letting go of matters of the past. Tonight, celebrating the birthday of the world, we are invited to reflect and re-evaluate. This year, and I probably speak on behalf of many of us here, we are in shock, shaken, disturbed, disoriented, feeling unable to move internally, emotionally. For some people in this country or elsewhere, nothing has really changed in the world. But for us, as Jews, absolutely everything is different. Since last October, So much has changed for us. Yes, of course, there were those big events, the horrible massacre that occurred on October the 7th, and the pain and grief and worry connected to the hostages, of which some are still in captivity almost a year later. But I'm also thinking of the small things that an external observer might not notice. I'm thinking of lost friendships, of losing friends we never thought we could lose over political discussions about the conflict in Israel and Gaza. I'm thinking of the unspoken fear and the thoughts many of us have to face when we do simple everyday tasks, such as running errands or going out. Can I wear a Star of David? Can I read an obviously Jewish book on the tube? Are my children safe? I'm also thinking of the marches and the protesters and the rise of expressions of anti-Semitism. I'm thinking of the political tensions in this community too. And I'm thinking about the uncertainty of these last days and hours. What will the future bring? We are shaken by the big and horrible events and by the small ones as well, by the inability to comprehend the horrors of the attack and the war, by the feelings of being misunderstood and labeled as our individual voices are often silenced by the media. And still, we made it here, into our sanctuary, praying together on the birthday of the world, trying to review this past year and asking for a favorable judgment for the next. But how can we do that? How can we look forward and hope for a better future after everything we have been through? This is a difficult task, to have hope in a world that can seem hopeless. How can we feel inspired by this promise of New Year's renewal when there is so much pain and suffering, so much fear, disagreement, and misunderstanding? I found the answer in the prayer, Hayom Harat Olam. Today is the birthday of the world. This unique Rosh Hashanah prayer says, Hayom Harat Olam. Today the world was created. Hayom Ya'amid B'mishpat. Today we stand here in judgment. Kol Yetzurei Olamim. All the creatures of the worlds. Im kavanim, im ka'avadim, either as children or as servants. If as children, have compassion on us as a father has compassion on his children. If as servants, our eyes are fixed on you until you favor us. This prayer offers a few important images. I want to point out just one of them. The image of us being as children or as servants, and God being our parent or master. Children and servants, they both are dependent. They are not really free. They have to listen and obey and do things. Their voices are either not there yet or taken away. But there is one common positive element that children and slaves share: hope. Children are often full of hope, and so may servants be. Children are full of potential that is ready to unfold. Servants may hope to get rid of their burden. They may hope to be released. This prayer is designed in this particular way to teach us that when we are reviewing the past, we should never stop hoping for and aspiring to a better future. Giving up is not an option, not for us. When we feel like giving up, we should always try to bring out in us the quality of our inner child with all its potential and naivety. And if we are too far from feeling our inner child, and we maybe feel a bit too worn out by life, maybe like servants do, even that is to remind us that we can still hope that change will come and our burden will be lightened. Better times will come. I understand that talking about having hope can feel a bit abstract and detached from the day-to-day reality. What does such hope bring us in the here and now? If we embrace our hope, if we invite it into our day-to-day lives, it can do miraculous things. But we have to do it the right way. And in order to do it the right way, we need to understand what hope actually is and what it is not. The late Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sacks points out that we are often interchanging two concepts. One of them is hope, and the other one is optimism. Rabbi Sacks says, and I quote, "Optimism and hope are not the same. Optimism is the belief that the world is changing for the better. Hope is the belief that together we can make the world better. Optimism is a passive virtue, hope an active one. It needs no courage to be an optimist, but it takes a great deal of courage to hope. If I could imprint one image to you tonight, it is this one. Rather than being optimistic about the future, be hopeful." As we just heard, it takes courage to be hopeful. It takes courage to realize that the future of the world, our future, lies in our hands. And it takes even more courage to do something about it. What I see here in this sanctuary are courageous people. People who managed to get through this horrible year with all its losses and obstacles and pain. People who dare. We all can have the courage to be hopeful. And so I invite you, dare to hope with me. Dare to hope for a better future, be hopeful and not just optimistic. Let us take the future into our own hands. So let me ask you, what is the smallest thing you can do to turn this world into a better place? For you, for your family, for this community. And I'm serious, I really mean the smallest, the tiniest act, the one with the least effort and the lowest investment. Do it, and then do it again. If we all do it, if we all join in, it will amount to a lot. I have started taking things into my own hands. I realized that I was the one causing my birthday blues. I was guilty of doing that to myself. I realized that if I hope for a better outcome, I have to help it. I was the only one who could bring the change about. And so I acted, and I confessed my previous birthday-connected disappointments and my blues to a loving person who cares about me so very much. I dare to share that I enjoy surprises. And just this past summer, I had the best birthday celebration of my life. From the moment I opened my eyes on my birthday, I had one nice surprise after another in the form of personalized scavenger hunt in the city of Potsdam in Germany, with a romantic breakfast, a boat trip, a walk in the park, and the biggest pizza the world has ever seen. Each and every one of these small acts of care and attention, of love and kindness, each little surprise on my birthday meant the world to me. I wish the world will have a better birthday next year, too. And it could. If only we dare to hope, a hope that grows out of courage. Shana Tova.